Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about a fairly new technique called the hover rig. We're going to talk about the equipment to use, where to use it, when to use it, um, the types of bodies to use, and the techniques to use with it. So stay tuned, it's going to be a good one. Okay guys, let's get started here. Um, we're going to start out with the Berkley flat nose with the hover rig. This is a fluke style bait. For you guys that don't know what a hover rig is, it's a jig that gets put inside the body of your favorite bait fish profile, crawfish profile bait, and it keeps it suspended horizontally in the water column. Also gives it a nice dying fish, gliding fish, like a dying bait fish action as it sinks. Um, when would we want to use this? Well, I think some of the best times is going to be for instance, right now in September, when the fish are scattered, they've been pretty well educated. Hit them with the hover rig. Um, they're going to be suspended. A lot of them are suspended. Excellent bait to use. A lot of them been educated. Excellent bait to use. And they're bait fish oriented, guys, so excellent bait to use. Um, the equipment we would use probably about a 7-foot 2-inch spinning rod on a spinning reel with, you could run, maybe depending on what kind of cover you're in or how you feel about it, you could run braid to mono or braid to fluorocarbon leader or just straight fluorocarbon. I would run straight fluorocarbon. About 6-pound test would be good. You can use this lure out deep, 30 feet, 50 feet, out deep, just a little heavier weight probably you'd want to use, go down deep faster. Or you can fish them dirt shallow with a little lighter weight, like a 1/32 ounce jig instead of, maybe like a 3/16 ounce jig. Hey guys, if you like what you're seeing here, please, if you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If you're liking the video, smash that thumbs up button. If you've got any questions, please leave them down below. Any other tips or places that I might leave out, leave them down below. I'd appreciate that. I try to make these videos short for you, so sometimes I forget something or I leave something out. So if you catch that and you know something, leave it down below. I'd appreciate that. Thanks, guys. Okay, let's talk about the baits. So this is a Berkley flat nose. It's a fluke style bait. You want to match the hatch, obviously, with anything. So if they're hitting smaller bait fish, this would be good. You can also use another great lure for this is the Berkley Berkley flatworm max scent. This one here is the smoke black purple color. Let me give you a look at that. I love this lure for drop shotting, but it's also great for the hover rig application. Another good choice would be your Zoom Super Flukes. Your beaver style baits like your Sweet Beavers from Reaction Innovations, or the Berkley have it. These are called the Pit Bosses. I use the Pit Bosses, but you can use whatever. And the Gary Yamamoto Senkos. Another one that I didn't bring out with me would be the TRD Bugs. Another great option for your hover rig applications. So, guys, where would you use these? You're going to want to use them around submerged brush, rock ledges where it goes down deep, around docks. You could use them around laydowns, rock piles that are out in the lake or the river. Anywhere where these bass might be suspended looking to ambush, bait coming by. Great place to use them. Times of the year you want to use them. Well, September, man. They're scattered. They're bait fish oriented. They've been educated by everything under the sun. Hover rig's fairly new, so it's a different It's a different look, and like I said, it comes through the water horizontally, suspended. You can even suspend it out there, and it's something these fish don't see a lot of, so they're fairly new to it. They're going to come unwound for it. It just looks like a bait fish out there coming through the water, like naturally. Um, but it'll work all year round. I mean, it'll work in the summertime, springtime. The key here is to remember always match the hatch. So you want to try to match the bait, the forage, to the bait that they're eating. Techniques. The first one that I like is, we'll call it the Neb rig technique, and that basically is cast it out, let the lure come down to the bottom, watching your line, because it's going to be a subtle hit a lot of times. So you definitely want to be a line watcher, and you're looking for that little tick as it's dropping. You'll see your line going, and then you might see it jump. That's a fish. You're going to want to reel down and just lean into it as you're reeling. You don't want to rip it out of his mouth. You just need a little reel down, get that weight on there, and lean into it. If it goes to the bottom, let it sit for a second, pop it off the bottom, let it drift back down, watching that line, let it hit the bottom, and continue. And every once in a while, if you pop it off the bottom, if you want to add a little shake to a little, minimal shake to the rod to make it dart as it's coming down, that could work too. The other technique is this would work real well for suspended fish that are out there just kind of hovering at, at a certain depth. Cast it out, let it get down to the depth you want just above them. You're going to keep your rod tip at about 2 o'clock, and you're going to reel. It's a tight, slightly tight line, and just shake your rod minimal, little shakes, and that'll cause this bait to go walking like, just zigzagging through the water column, almost like you're walking the dog with a spook, but you're in mid-column water column. This lure presentation will work good in gin clear water all the way to dirty chocolate milk water. Another way to use it would be have your rod tip at 2 o'clock, cast out, hold the line tight so this lure comes down on a pendulum style, and then comes at a flat, and then reel your line up, and then let it pendulum back down. This would work real well for your suspended bass also. And every once in a while you could put a little shake in the rod tip, and this will, as it's pendulum down, it'll zigzag, give it a little motion in the water. Something I forgot about the retrieve one, as you're zigzagging, every once in a while you can kill it and just let it die and start again, and then just that subtle rod tip action will make it zigzag through the water like you're walking a dog. Okay guys, how would we rig the hover rig? Well, I will show you for the guys that don't know how. So here we got a Pit Boss, Berkeley Pit Boss, okay, beaver style bait. We're not going to come through the front here. We're not going to come through. We're going to come back about a quarter way, and we're going to enter the bait, and we're going to thread it just like you would if you went through the head. And we're going to pull it out like that, okay? But you're going to push this weight down through, okay? Pull it down in, and then pull the top up over it, like that. And that's going to bury that hook. That weight's in there, it's buried. And it's the beaver style baits and the flat bottom baits will give it a nice gliding action. That's what you want. But being that this is a 90-degree hook style, it'll hold it horizontally in the water column. Guys, you can fish this on the bottom with that slight rod jiggle and make it look like a bait fish scurrying across the bottom, or a crayfish. You can fish it in depths above for suspended bass and walk it and make it look like a lonely bait fish just starting away, trying to find school to pair up with. Or you can pendulum him down like he's a dying bait fish. Guys, all these techniques are going to work very well. It's going to work. It works pretty good year round. I don't know so much about wintertime, but from I would probably say springtime all up into the fall until we start hitting the winter transition. Probably be an excellent technique to work with. It's fairly new, like I said, so these fish are not educated by it. They've seen everything else. It'll work good in shallow water where the fish are real finicky and don't want to bite. You throw the hover rig, and let it die and give it a little twitches, make it look natural. They're going to come unwound and eat it. Just because it's something they haven't seen 100,000 times. A lot of guys probably ain't throwing it yet. And it's a great technique. So guys, if you liked what you're seeing here today, please hit that thumbs up button. If you're not already subscribed, consider subscribing to the channel. I appreciate it. It helps the channel out tremendously. And it just helps me keep on keeping on. And by the way, as always, if there's something I forgot to put in the video about the hover rig that for the guys who know a little bit. Oh, before I go, if you want to make a homemade one, get yourself a 90-degree jig hook and a lead or tungsten nail weight and a shrink tube. So imagine this is the 90-degree jig eyelet. You bring out the point of the nail weight to there and then slip your shrink tube over, heat it up, and now you've got yourself your own hover rig, your homemade hover rig. But like I said, back to it. If there's anything I might have left out of the video, please leave it down in the comments below. Or if you have any questions at all, guys, don't feel embarrassed. Just ask down below. We're here to help. I'd appreciate it. Love hearing from you guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.